आई एम विवेक कुमार और आज का जो सेशन है हम लोग लीन मैनेजमेंट पर आज का सेशन ले रहे हैं। और लीन मैनेजमेंट पर जो हम सेशन ले रहे हैं वी विल बी ट्राइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड द बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट्स एंड आल्सो मोर इम्पोर्टेंटली वी विल बी लर्निंग the ways of actual and effective implementation of the concepts of the lean management on the shop floor, because the biggest challenge, biggest opportunity is about the implementation of the concepts on the shop floor. I would like to take you people through a presentation so that the things will be more structured. So let's go through the presentation. Dear friends, we are talking about the lean management concepts, and as the speakers before me, they have very specifically pointed out that the challenge that is coming to us is about reducing our costs so that we are able to compete with the world's manufacturing levels, specifically the Chinese. So the objective and the motivation for conducting this particular session on lean management is to find ways to understand how we can actually understand the basic concepts and take it forward from there by actually implementing those concepts on our shop floors for getting the benefits of the lean management. I am Vivek Kumar. I have a management consultancy agency over here named IBS Consulting. I'm the director, and I also have a YouTube educational channel, The Quality School, where you can have small modules of the basic concepts of the lean management. Just a brief introduction about myself. I did my engineering graduation way back 30 years back in mechanical engineering, and after that I have been working in industry for past 30 years. More specifically, understand that I have been working in the field of learning of quality management concepts and the actual implementation of the same on the shop floor. So by way of training, I am a green belt in Lean Six Sigma. I am a certified engineer in statistical process quality control. I am a shop floor Kaizen breakthrough instructor from TVM of USA. I am a certified professional in business process engineering, and I've been part of the partnership program with German government. So there are lots of qualifications, but the most important strength I trust is about my personal hands-on experience in the implementation on the shop floor on our Indian shop floors. I've been to China. I've learned actually how they go and get those ridiculous prices, those ridiculous costings. So let's get to the real point. The real point is that very high costing is our real problem that is preventing us from getting business. Maybe in India, maybe when we go and talk to and try to export, so people are actually importing goods from China, and the costing of Indian manufacturers is way higher than what the Chinese manufacturers are offering. So the moot point is that high costing is our real problem, and we will be very much benefited if we find out the right strategy for increasing our profits, reducing our costs, and find ways to how to achieve the costings, how to achieve those innovative products that the Chinese manufacturers are providing. So our benchmark right now is with China, and I have got news for you. One good news and one other news which is even better. उससे भी अच्छी दो खबर मैं आपके साथ में शेयर करना चाहता हूँ. The first good news is that we can do it by understanding and implementing lean. और दूसरी खबर जो इससे भी अच्छी है that we are dedicated, we will do it. हम लोग संकल्पबद्ध हैं और आप अगले 2 साल में एक क्रांति देखेंगे भारतीय मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेक्टर में. वो लीन के कॉन्सेप्ट्स को इंप्लीमेंट करके दुनिया में सबसे आगे निकल के रहेगा. कोई हमें रोकने वाला नहीं है, और मैं आप लोगों को इनवाइट कर रहा हूं कि इस जर्नी में, इस मार्च में आइए हम लोग फ्लैग बियरर बने. दोस्तों, एक वीडियो आपके साथ में शेयर करता हूं. ये हमें
या फिर क्या वजह हो सकती है कि जो हमारा भारत देश है वो अर्थव्यवस्था में चीन की बराबरी नहीं कर पा रहा. अभी क्यों चीन को पीछे नहीं छोड़ पा रहे हैं? चीन क्यों और कैसे भारत से कोसों आगे निकल रहा है? क्या हो सकता है रीजन? सोचिए, चीन के लोग अपने देश में वो चीज तैयार करते हैं दोस्तों जो हमारी जरूरत होती है, और फिर वो उस प्रोडक्ट को इंडियन मार्केट में बेच देते हैं। तो क्या इसके पीछे सिर्फ भारतीय सरकार जिम्मेदार है, या जिम्मेदार है साथ में हम और आप? जी हाँ, सोचिए।
फ्रेंड्स, तो जब हमें वर्ल्ड क्लास मैन्युफैक्चरिंग लेवल से वर्ल्ड क्लास प्राइसेस से कॉम्पीट करना है, चीन हमारे लिए एक बेंचमार्क की तरह सामने खड़ा हुआ है, इमीडिएट कंपटीशन उससे है, तो हमें दो तीन बातें इमीडिएटली समझ में, हमें क्या करना है, हमें अपनी कॉस्ट रिड्यूस करनी है। हमें हमारे यहाँ प्रोसेस में जो रिजेक्ट्स हैं, जो रीवर्क हैं, उनको कम करना है। हमें हमारी कस्टमर कंप्लेंट्स को कम करना है। हमें हमारे कस्टमर सेटिस्फेक्शन लेवल को बढ़ाना है। हमें प्रोडक्टिविटी को बढ़ाना है, पर पर्सन प्रोडक्टिविटी को बढ़ाना है, हमारी ओवरऑल प्रोडक्शन वॉल्यूम्स को बढ़ाना है। हमारे पास जो स्टॉक आउट हो जाते हैं, जिसकी वजह से प्रोडक्शन रुक जाता है, उस इवेंट्स को हमें खत्म करना है। हमारे यहाँ इन्वेंट्री में हमारे यहाँ जो बेइंतहा पैसा फंसा हुआ है, हमारा कैश सर्कुलेशन उससे रुक रहा है, उसको हमें हटाना है। हमें जो फायर फाइटिंग करनी पड़ती है अपने शिपमेंट्स को ऑन टाइम भेजने के लिए, हमें उस स्थिति से बाहर आना है। हमें अपने प्रोसेसेस की स्टेबिलिटी बढ़ानी है। वी आर रिक्वायर्ड टू इंक्रीज द रिलायबिलिटी ऑफ आवर मशीन्स। हमें अपने शॉप फ्लोर के लेआउट्स को इंप्रूव करना है, जिससे ज्यादा प्रोडक्टिव हो सके, ज्यादा एफिशिएंट हो सके, ज्यादा सेफ हो सके। और ये स्लाइड अलग से एक दो और बातों पर फोकस करने के लिए कि हमें हमारे लोगों का, हमारी अपनी टीम का एम्प्लॉय एंगेजमेंट बढ़ाना है और उनके मोटिवेशन लेवल बढ़ाने हैं। क्योंकि लीन के कॉन्सेप्ट्स में फंडामेंटल बात है टीम का इन्वॉल्वमेंट, और पूरी टीम के साथ में मिलकर जो कंट्रीब्यूशन मिलता है वो मिलना होगा। तो इस स्लाइड में मैंने जानबूझकर इन एडिशन टू ऑल दोस पॉइंट्स की कॉस्ट घटाना, प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी बढ़ाना के साथ में दो स्पेसिफिक बातों पर आपका ध्यान में लेना चाह रहा हूं। वो है हमारे लोगों का एम्प्लॉय एंगेजमेंट बढ़ाना, मोटिवेशन लेवल बढ़ाना, एक बात, और हमें अपने सेफ एंड एफिशिएंट वर्क प्लेसेस बढ़ाने और स्टेबल प्रोसेसेस को एस्टेब्लिश करना।
विवेक जी,
इसलिए
विवेक जी आप प्लीज है ना इंग्लिश में बोलिएगा, बिकॉज है ना
श्योर
क्योंकि एक तंजानिया से हैं।
श्योर,
ठीक है,
गॉट योर पॉइंट।
ठीक है, थैंक यू।
So we will be now starting in my presentation on our journey to learn, apply and transform our organization to achieve the goals of our business. We will have to make certain changes in the way we have been doing business till now, and let's understand what that is.
आपको अपने आप में बदलाव लाना होगा, इस देश के बारे में सोचना होगा, और एक बात हमेशा याद रखने की जरूरत है कि 1978 में जब चीन ने आर्थिक सुधार की शुरुआत की, तो वहां प्रति व्यक्ति आय 155 अमेरिकी डॉलर थी, जो कि मैं से ऊपर बता चुका हूं पहले, और भारत की आय प्रति व्यक्ति उस टाइम थी 210 डॉलर। सिर्फ 42 सालों में चीन ने सब कुछ बदल कर दिया। अगर वो कर सकते हैं तो हम क्यों नहीं? हम यहाँ पर अपने देश को नीचा नहीं दिखा रहे हैं, बस तवीयत बनाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। जिसे सुनकर समझकर हम आगे बढ़ सकते हैं। चाहे तो आज वो सब कुछ कर सकते हैं जो चीन नहीं कर सकता, बहुत आगे जा सकते हैं, बस जरूरत है।
So we can do whatever China has done, and we can do much more, just by way of understanding the right strategies, the right ways of getting to our desired goal. Now, what is the goal? The goal of every business is to make profit and to keep making profit in the future. It is as simple as that. I hope all of us agree that the goal of every business is to make money and be stable so that we keep making money in the future, irrespective of any external changes to the business environment, including competition and any crisis, such as the business environment will change, the competitor will increase, the competitors will become more strong, the technology will change, the customers' expectations will grow, there will be unforeseeable emergencies like Corona, COVID, and we will have to find ways so that we are unaffected by all these and we keep making money. How? So we will learn the lean management concepts, and I trust and believe I recommend that the focus on lean manufacturing is the most appropriate strategy to win in today's scenario. There are examples across the globe, across the industries, where every industry has made itself more profitable, more growth oriented, more sustainable by way of implementation of the concepts of lean on the shop floor. And I will be sharing some benefits that some industries have gained by implementation of the Lean and Six Sigma. Lean Six Sigma is again a variant of the Lean itself, where we are focusing on the reduction of the variation in the manufacturing process. So the reduction of the variation, you people must have seen, learned about the Six Sigma concepts and the way and the performance levels that one achieves by way of Six Sigma compatibilities. And I will just like to share the concept of Six Sigma. If I ask all of you that if I guarantee you a quality performance, that is good production of 99.73%. Whatever you make, 99.73 will be good. I hope and trust that most of you will say this is an excellent result. But trust me, when I say that when you are going with the Lean Six Sigma concept, this is extremely poor result. Considered to be extremely bad result, because 99.73% translates into 2,700 defects in a million, which is considered to be a 3 Sigma quality, which is considered to be extremely bad, and the 6 Sigma levels are 99.99967%, which translates into ppm terms 3.4 defects per million. So the quality performance has been increased to such a level that we do not really talk in terms of percentages. We start talking in the terms of parts per million. So a 3 Sigma performance, 99.73 performance is 2,700 defects per million, and a 6 Sigma performance is 3.4 defects per million. Just see the difference from 2,700 to 3.4, 3.5. So there are benefits, countless benefits. I can cite examples where the events of late approvals have been reduced by 60%. The time consumed in the passing of the expenses has been reduced by 94%. Significant savings to the tune of $400,000 per year have been made by small organizations in the labor cost itself. The benefits of Lean have been observed in military industries itself, which is so critical industry. The lives and deaths of our brave soldiers depend on the military industry. The wins and losses of countries depend on the military industry, and that industry has also adopted the Lean Six Sigma concept. And why Lean Six Sigma works, and it doesn't really requires much of an investment, doesn't really requires big infrastructure, doesn't really requires big spaces, big factories, investment of the new technologies. The whole concept is very simple. We will be learning about all these, and I would like to share a small video that gives us a motivation in a human context, that how a lean and agile warrior can defeat a Hulk. And we will then see how this particular concept can be implemented in our industrial scenario. So when we are lean, when we implement Lean, we become fighting fit. And how that particular thing happens on the floor, we will see through a small video over here. This is how a Lean implementation event happens. Benefits are to the tune, amazing benefits are there. Just see in this video, in one particular manufacturing line, the number of manpower has been reduced from 31 to 12, and we can all relate to this requirement in the present context after COVID, when all of us are facing the scarcity of skilled laborers. The manpower requirement has been reduced from 31 to 12. We'll be having another video that again explains the benefits and the methodology of Lean implementation. All these videos will actually enhance your understanding of the implementation and the basic concepts of the lean management. This is a video about a sandwich making company. I've just taken this video specifically to explain to you and to convince you that the lean concepts are applicable in every industry, every nature of business. It is not required that it can be applied only in big corporates or the people who are manufacturing cars or jumbo jets. No, it is equally beneficial for the people who are making garments, furniture, jewelry, for that matter, sandwiches. Let's see.
Let's look at how Kaizen works in this sandwich factory, which has a mostly female workforce. They're all directed through a speech electromechanical signal.
I would like that you people see this video very, very carefully, because this will mention that when we go and implement lean projects, we very minutely observe the processes. We find out where the process is lacking, where it needs to be strengthened, what is the bottleneck in the process. So just as in this video, they have identified one particular operation of cutting of the bread was the bottleneck operation, and then they improved on that. So that is one part. So how minutely the process is to be observed when we go and implement lean, and how that translates into tremendous and amazing benefits has been described in this video.
And the materials will pass off the line. But one process, cutting the bread, always took more time and interrupted the flow, even the next worker waiting. We'd been doing it that way for years and never saw it was a problem. Once they realized the weakness in their system, they decided to change from a linear flow to one where small groups of workers each complete batches of sandwiches. After rearranging workbenches and assigning multiple processes to each worker, the time required fell sharply and productivity went up. Now we rarely have to stand about updating materials. It's really improved the job.
So friends, I would like to emphasize two important facts, two important observations from all these videos. One is the people involvement is the key. When the whole team is involved onto a journey of continual improvement, then only the benefits of lean management happen. That's part one. And part two, that we will have to be providing the specific training of the specific tools and techniques to our team to be able to make significant contributions towards this journey. So both these points, specific training and holding is part one, and involvement of everyone in the team is another. That is a must for the implementation methodology. I will be focusing more and more on why and how certain companies are successful in implementing. Let's learn from them. Otherwise, just a bookish knowledge of the concepts is not going to help us. Friends, so it has been observed, it has been proved that with the effective implementation of lean in any organization, in the first year itself, we can have 20% assured growth in the profit. I will pause for a few seconds on this particular slide. I guarantee you, and I again repeat, that in 1 year of effective implementation of lean in any organization, 20% assured growth is definite. Now, having understood all this and having such a significant likelihood of having such a good growth, it is still a challenge for the most of the companies to understand the concepts and methods for implementation. And that is why we are sharing this particular presentation, and we are having this discussion where we are trying to learn the concepts together. And I have made 3 chapters for the next parts of the presentation, and we will be understanding the needs in first chapter, the basic concepts in the second chapter, and the most important part, the implementation methodology, in the third chapter. Let's begin. So the need, the basic concept, and the implementation methodology we will be considering. And now I will take you, like you to know that the lean methodology, the lean management concepts are basically based on the concept of Toyota Production System. Toyota Production System is the production system of the Toyota Motor Corporation that was implemented around 1946-1950 after the World War, when Japan was devastated, and they had a challenge just like we have right now, and they had a potential just like we have right now. And they came up with the Toyota Production System. And there are such marvelous stories of the success of the Toyota Production System. And lean manufacturing concept are based on the Toyota Production System only. So the marvelous stories go, I will share a couple of examples with you. One is the most sold car ever in the history of mankind is Toyota Corolla, which was introduced 54 years ago in 1966, and it has sold more than 50 million units till date. Still, it is presently being sold in India and all over the world, and still it is in one of the top models that are being sold. That is the strength of the Toyota Production System, based on which we have developed the concepts of the lean. Another example of the success. Another example of the success of success and the benefits of the Toyota Production System, the lean management concept, is that it actually goes through a crisis with even more ease, even more effectiveness. So please go through this example, that this crisis of coronavirus, novel coronavirus, the so-called COVID-19, has plunged the whole world into a big recession. Everyone is down, but the least affected is Toyota Motor Corporation. And the Toyota Motor Corporation has actually benefited from this particular crisis, and they have achieved their highest percentage market share in the past 10 years. They were having a market share of 9.2% in 2016-2017, that was increased to 10.2% in 2019, and after this particular crisis of corona, they have increased their market share by 1.5 percentage points more, and now their market share is 11.6 of the total automobiles sold all over the world. So this is the strength of the Toyota Motor Corporation system, the lean manufacturing system. Another example that we can see is the profitability. So I have just taken one example of where the Toyota was earning an example of profit margin of 5.76 billion, whereas the other competitors, the top four, are standing at 4.39 and 1.31 and extremely 0.28. There is just no comparison. Just give a thought to these figures. The number one, the Toyota, is standing as 5.76, and we are talking of the world-class companies, the best of technology, the best of infrastructure, the best of car designs. Top four car makers, and the fourth car maker is standing, General Motors, is 0.28. There is just no comparison. Also, it is being sustained year after year. It is just not one quarter miracle or something. Similarly, we can see immense example in every sector. I will be saying, and we have got example, and just as Mr. Manish shared with you in the beginning of this webinar, that when the industrial revolution took place and the reforms started taking place some 42 years ago in China, they were behind, and they were standing at 155 USD per capita income, and now, as he has clearly pointed out, that the per capita income of China is 20 times than ours. Based on the implementation of all these concepts of increasing efficiency, of increasing productivity, reducing costs. So the lean is must for increasing profitability, for sustaining profitability, achieving customer satisfaction. That goes beyond doubt. We have seen the example of China that has turned the whole world around in 40 years flat, and China is now the world's manufacturing hub. Not only India is importing, all over America, all over Europe, everything is just made in China. That is why we are taking that as a benchmark, we are taking that as a challenge, and we are starting on our journey of implementation of lean management concepts, so that we become the manufacturing hub in another 5-10 years. Now, I will just like to take you through a couple of good slides that are the photographs of the real shop floor of the Toyota manufacturing plants. Just look at flexibility, the precision of the shop floor, where various car models are being processed simultaneously, different colors, different, but just look at the preparedness, just look at the efficiencies, and that is why such miraculous results have been achieved. That is how, and we have been discussing when we were looking at those videos, that the basic of lean concepts is to understand the process, to observe it very minutely, to see where the waste is, to identify where improvements can be made, to identify where the processes need to be strengthened. So this is the depth with the good manufacturing companies observe the results. So this is not something that is happening in air. You identify a production line, you identify a particular project, you make a team charter which defines the purpose and goal for the improvement team. You give a time frame, you monitor the progresses, you identify the improvement areas, you go and implement. That is how the basic concepts are so meticulously captured, data is so meticulously analyzed, and improvements are made on the shop floor, all in a very, very simple terms. And this is how shop floors of good manufacturing companies with good efficiencies, good layouts look like, and you can see for yourselves that this kind of shop floor, this kind of levels of housekeeping, this kind of levels of 5S of visual communication can ensure efficiency and productivity, definitely. This is how the shop floors of good manufacturing companies that have implemented lean look like. There is a place for everything. The levels are monitored. There is where the operator is to stand, what processes are to be carried out. All this has been worked out to great precision levels. Now, the TPS to lean concept is, as we have explained, that the TPS was the initial concept that was developed at the Toyota Motor Corporation, and around 1990s it was developed into a more streamlined, more structured, more usable form, which was called lean, and that is useful for all types of manufacturing businesses. Now it is not limited only to the car manufacturing or to big corporates or people who are having a big or automatic machines. So the lean concept is to serve the service industry, the software developers, the small clinics. Everyone can benefit from these concepts. So the small businesses, startups, hospitals, small time manufacturers, software developers, government agencies, banking sector, insurance sector, e-commerce sector, online educational platforms, everyone can learn and implement and get the benefits of the lean into their business operations. Dear friends, in the present scenario, every manager is working to maximize efficiency and productivity. Do you agree? Every manager is working towards increasing, maximizing the efficiency and the productivity. That means that we want to slash waste. The waste, there are when we talk of lean manufacturing concept, there are 7 wastes, 8 wastes. Tim Woods, you people must have heard of that: transportation, inventory, motion, overproduction, overprocessing, etc., etc. So we need to eliminate those wastes. So my dear friends, lean management is about providing tools, providing philosophy, providing that broad infrastructure, broad framework, which will lead us to that journey where we substantiate our benefits. I would like you to go through a video of a Japanese manufacturer where the Kaizen concept had been explained, and the concept where everything has been placed to such a precision level where the various kinds of waste have been eliminated. Let's see.
Visitors to factories in Japan often remark how carefully and neatly the tools and working materials are arranged. This is actually the key to efficiency. When tools are laid out clearly and conveniently, no work time is wasted looking for them. And logical pre-positioning of materials reduces time spent transporting them to workspaces, lessening the danger of collisions en route. Such techniques for improving work efficiency and safety are known as Kaizen, the Japanese word that simply means to do something better.
Kaizen, the Japanese word that simply means doing things better, in a better manner, that gives us more efficiencies, eliminates waste. Dear friends, two pillars, 2 words that best define the lean methodology are: number 1, value creation, and number 2, waste elimination. If we remember these 2 words only, we can understand the whole concept of the lean manufacturing system. They are value creation and waste elimination. Friends, also I would like to emphasize that lean is not just of tools. It is just not that you go and make a epoxy floor, or you go and buy some sophisticated machines. It is a comprehensive approach that involves people, that involves management philosophy, the basic beliefs, and uses the tools and techniques of the Toyota production system, of lean manufacturing concepts to help us achieve the goals of our business. Just remember, it is not just about a set of tools, a couple of photographs, and we go and try to imitate what Japanese have been doing. That is not the case. What Chinese have been doing, that is not the case. We'll have to understand the whole approach. So, the academic definition. Now, let us get into the core of this discussion. The academic definition of lean manufacturing concept is that the lean means creating more value with less. This is the academic definition of lean manufacturing concepts. Lean means creating more value with less. What's less? Less time, less human effort, less capital expenditure, less space, less defects. That is the philosophy that drives us to the success. We will have to understand, to find ways to improve our processes continuously, that we use less and less of time, less and less of human efforts. And in the next videos that I'm going to share with you, people are talking of reduction of time to the extent of 2 seconds. 2 seconds, not 2 days, 2 hours, 2 minutes. 2 seconds, 3 seconds. That is the time, that is the kind of perfection level the people who have successfully implemented lean are looking at. So, as we have discussed, the 2 pillars are elimination of waste. We will have to find out what is waste and we will have to eliminate. And another is to create work, is to create value. The value is created where work is being done actually on the shop floor, not in the conference rooms, not in the training rooms. So these 2 are the most critical aspects, value creation and the waste elimination. And what we do by all this, we bring stability in our systems, we get improvements in our processes, and we enhance the capability of our people. So, my dear friends, concepts are applicable across every type of business. People oftentimes wrongly believe that the lean concept or the Toyota production system is useful only for the manufacturing industries. People who are converting raw material to the finished goods. No, it is applicable to all 3 primary business cycles of any business enterprise. That is, number 1, concept to launch, which is applicable in case of, let's say, new product development for the fashion designers, for the software developers. You get a concept, you design a product, you launch it. No conversion of real goods happen. Okay. Second is from order to delivery, which happens in terms of in the case of e-commerce platforms like Zomato, Swiggy, etc. They get the order. They are not conceptualizing anything. They just got the order. They go and deliver. They do not manufacture itself. So there are 3 primary business cycles, and the lean concepts are applicable and beneficial equally for all the 3 concepts. Now let's try to understand in simple terms what lean is. So lean is, if we talk of in human terms, it is to have the muscle and not the fat. When Mr. Pramod was actually introducing this webinar, he mentioned that in the buyer-seller meets, they say your costings are very fatty. And he said that now we understand the meaning of what the fatty means and why it is necessary to remove that particular fat. So what we need to have is muscle. What we do not need to have is fat. So we will have to keep only what is required, and we will have to eliminate what is not required. If we transform the whole concept in terms of industry, in terms of corporations, in terms of businesses, so we know now that what we do not want to have are the non-value adding activities. What we do not want to have are the non-value adding activities, activities that we carry out but that do not add any value, and we do not even know that these activities are not adding any value. Typically, it has been observed that in any typical normal business organization that has not understood the concepts and that has not implemented the concepts, 90%, please mind my words, 90% of the activities are non-value adding activities. We carry out them anyways, just by habit, just we feel that they are necessary. They do not add any value, and those 90% of the non-value adding activities have to be removed. Now the task is to identify and know what those non-value adding activities are and how we go and eliminate those non-value adding activities. We will learn all these concepts. It is not so difficult. I remain emphasizing the fact that lean is simple. Lean is simple. Please understand that the only task, single task that we have got to do is to identify non-value adding activities, the wastes, and eliminate them. So people who do not have much time to be continuing on this webinar, they can go home. The message has been delivered. The whole concept is to identify non-value adding activities and eliminate non-value adding activities. That is the summary of the lean manufacturing concepts. My dear friends, I don't want any of you to go. I will be explaining all this in detail because I want you to be successful in implementing all this. So let us go through a very structured approach to this. So when the lean management concept was devised in 1990s by a team of MIT, they have came up with 5 principles of lean, 5 stages of lean implementation, and I would like everyone to be very, very attentive on this slide. The first activity, the first step is to identify value. The second step is to map the value stream. The third is to create flow. The fourth is to establish pull. And the fifth, and probably the most important, is to strive for perfection. What this actually means, we will be discussing in a couple of minutes over here on this slide. It is the same slide, just some more details have been added over here. So the first stage was to identify value. What it actually means that identify customers and specify value. One must know what are their target customers, what is their expectations. This is actually known as understanding VOC, the voice of the customer. This is the most important part in understanding and delivering the lean quality performances. Until and unless we know who our customers are, what they are going to pay, what do they care for, we cannot go anywhere. So first stage, the most critical stage, is identifying customers and specifying what is their perception of value in the particular product or service that we are going to deliver to them. Second, once you have understood that this is their concept, their expectation, their perception of the value, then we actually convert either some raw material or some information into something that is desired by the customer, right? So that is what is our business processes. So the second stage is to identify and map the business stream. We write down on a piece of paper that to achieve that particular value, what activities, one after another, we carry out. We map that. We make a very, very clear, actionable, understandable map of the sequence of activities. So some of the people who have maybe some initiation in the quality concept, they must know that when we go and define a process, so what is a process? Process is a set of activities that converts a set of given raw materials into a product that is desirable by the customer. So the set of activities, the sequence of activities, we need to go and map that. Then the third stage is to create flow. We will understand what it actually means to create flow, where the things do not get stuck and the lead time, the throughput times get reduced dramatically. We'll see the exact methods by which the flow is created, and then to create a flow. So the whole concept of lean, and we'll see certain videos also which explain the benefit of creating a pull system. So there are basically two systems. We'll go into detail of the same, the push system and the pull system. In the push system, you go and make for stock in anticipation of the customer's requirement, and in the pull system, you already know the customer requirements and you make to order when the customer wants it, and your systems, your processes, your machinery, your infrastructure Have to be so responsive, so quick that whenever the customer wants, you make and give it in the desired time frame. The fifth, and as I mentioned earlier as well, the most crucial is to pursue perfection, because this is an ongoing journey of improvement, continual improvement, never stops. We seek perfection. Now, we'll see all these steps one by one. The first step was identification of value. What is value? Value is driven by what is perceived, what is the expectation of the customer. Value is not what you like, what you want, what you were doing past year, what you have got machinery for. Exact value is in the eye of the buyer, right? So I will share a very interesting example. This is concerning Mr. Manish. So when I was discussing this particular presentation, so this slide was earlier in the beginning when we were trying to explain the benefits of the lean manufacturing concept. So this slide was earlier. I mentioned that, and all of you are aware in India that there are two top-end SUVs. One is Toyota Fortuner and another is Ford Endeavour, which were launched almost simultaneously in India around 10 years back. And on roads now, when you look at the newer vehicles, you will find much more Toyota Fortuners than the Ford Endeavours. And actually, if you go by the numbers, so the Toyota Fortuner has sold more than twice the number of what Ford Endeavour has sold. And Manish somehow actually, during that discussion itself, went onto the Google, found out that, okay, this particular Fortuner thing has got much less features. And he said, sir, this is selling more because it is having much less features. I said, hold it for a minute. You have actually given me a very good example. This particular vehicle, both of the vehicles are selling at the same price, 35 lakhs per unit. Number one. Number two, the Toyota Fortuner is having much less features and still it is selling more than twice. Why? Because it is exactly spending less. They are making much more profit, and it is exactly having the features that the Indian customers are looking at, and not those superficial features that are adding cost to the vehicle, which may be beneficial in the European countries but are not appreciated by the Indian people. And if this particular vehicle was selling at a lower cost, then I would have agreed with you कि हाँ भाई ये सस्ता है इसलिए ज़्यादा बिक रहा है. No. The cost, the price is same and still selling more because they have understood the clear grasp on the expectations of the buyer. Another example I will give you. Facebook exactly knows what you are concerned about. They will show you posts related what you have been interested in. They know your complete profile. My son, my daughter, both of them are into software, and they only work on the data mining and deep mining and all those projects that only work on the market profiling and the customer profiling to understand what the customer is looking for. So that is how the whole world is running, about understanding the customer expectation, the voice of the customer. The whole software thing, this ये जो बात हम लोग करते हैं डाटा चोरी हो जाएगा डाटा, वो कस्टमर की प्रोफाइलिंग की बात है, कस्टमर की एक्सपेक्टेशन को ही पकड़ने की बात है. My friends, the second stage was about value stream mapping, and the value stream mapping is the most important sheet that is made in the implementation projects of the lean management concepts. My dear friends, this is the pitch. Just like in cricket, where all the game happens, the bowling happens on this pitch, the batting happens on this pitch. So this is the pitch where all the improvement activities, all the discussions happen on this particular sheet, which is value stream mapping. And the value stream mapping is mapping of all the activities. What is the process stage 1? What is the database of that? What is the process stage 2? So from supplier, what are the process stages that you carry out sequentially one after the other? What are their data sets? What are their processing time? What are the wait times, etc. So if you look at, so this is just not a concept. Just as I explained, this is the most important document that is ever made in implementation of the lean concepts. So this is value stream mapping, and for, let's say, every process we go and work out in exact detail what that particular process does. What is the process cycle time? What is the changeover time? What is the normally upside down time? What is the mean time to repair? How many operators are required? How many shift it runs? What is the throughput time? What is the takt time that the customer wants, etc. There are so many concepts, and then we looking at this particular diagram, this particular map is first we make as is, that is the present state map. And then we make another map, which is a future state map, that is a desirable state map. And then we identify and make a team and give responsibilities and give timelines and give targets to achieve that particular task, and that has been that is displayed on the shop floors, and that is appreciated and incentivized whenever they go and get successes in that implementation. So value stream mapping is just like writing down in great detail what activities, in what sequence, by whom is being done presently, and how you would like to happen that in future to increase profitability and efficiencies. Dear friends, so how do we know that this particular value is value adding or non-value adding activities? So as I told you, the most critical checkpoints, the parameters on which we test for every activity, that whether it is a non-value adding activities or value adding activities, is the 3 C's: whether the customer cares for it. If you, let's say, add a remotely controlled sunroof, and people are not willing to pay for another 30,000 rupees for that, so there is not much point. You go and have a big automotive lathe and still producing the same quantity, same quality, so people are not really going to pay for that. So they do not really care for it. So first test is the care. Second is, so does it actually changes the physical form of that particular raw material, or for that matter the information. So I will give you one example. Let's say this is the workpiece and this is a lathe drill bit. So this is the 0 position of the drill bit. So this drill bit moves from its 0 position and reaches to the workpiece and then starts drilling. And again, when it's completes drilling, it goes back and stops its 0 position. Now the movement in the air, when the drill bit comes from the 0 position to the workpiece, is not really converting anything into anything. It is a waste. So if the 0 position is very near the workpiece, it still doesn't make really no difference. So the time that this drill bit takes from coming down and then again going up is wasted. So we have identified that this is a wasteful activity. So this is the depth, this is the detail we will go in the implementation of the lean management concepts. And third is that we need to do it first time right every time, and there is no scope for any reworks, rejections, repairs. My dear friends, the third step, as we all remember now, was to create flow. How the flow is created is by various techniques, various specific approaches. We will see in the next slide. But please appreciate, if there are no roadblocks, just consider a pipeline where there is a pipeline which has got much roadblocks, things are getting stuck here and there, so that is not going to be very much efficient anyways. So we'll have to create a flow where things move smoothly from the starting point to the end point. There is no stopping anywhere, not for the machine stoppages, not for the not availability of clear instructions, not for the non-availability of quality approvals, etc. So how we go and create flow is by way of batch size reduction. The pinnacle is to achieve single piece flow. We'll see a video and after a couple of slides, and that will explain how a batch production works and how inefficient that batch production is. And you will recall how prevalent that batch production is. कितनी जगह हम batch production कर रहे हैं और वो कितना inefficient है, वो अभी अगली दो स्लाइडों में, दो छोटे-छोटे वीडियो 1-1 मिनट के है, उसमें हमें दिख जाएगा. और क्रॉस ट्रेनिंग, एक ऑपरेटर नहीं है तो मशीन ही रुक गई, पूरी फैक्ट्री रुक गई, खेल खत्म, क्योंकि इस मशीन को चलाना only that person knows. So we will have to have cross trainings, we will have to have parallel processings. One person shall be, the layout shall be such that one person works on multiple machines and the parallel processing happens, and so that comes under the concept of SMED and all, and there is standardized work. So until unless we have standardized, we cannot really go and improve until unless we know that how we have been doing it till now. So these are ways of creating flow, and now I would like to go through two small videos. First, Just look at this photograph. This actually is the video. I will just run it. This is a batch production, typical batch production in a garment industry. That is how we have been doing it. This is applicable in all. I've been in garment industry, but Pramod ji has been in garment industry, and I've been in furniture industry as well. So everywhere in the present stage, there are batch production. This is how a typical garment manufacturing setup looks like. And just look at the various inventory pools, the batches that are running over here, and that is how it happens. A typical garment manufacturing setup you can see anywhere and everywhere in India. So batch production was happening here, and now we'll see when we go and implement the lean. The batches go away, the inventory goes away, and one piece flow has been achieved. Same factory, same people, same production. Only thing is that batches are not there, and one piece at a time is flowing to the next operator. So that is how we go and achieve flow, which is, as I mentioned, number one, achieved by reducing the batch size among so many other concepts that we discussed in the previous slide. My dear friends, the fourth step, as probably you all remember, is to establish pull. Now, establishing pull means that you make goods only when and only in the quantities and only exactly what the customer wants. When the customer wants it, you do not make it for stock. You never make it for stocks. And this concept is applicable not only to external customers. When we talk of customer, we mostly understand a buyer, the final buyer. No, in the lean management concepts, the customer is your next process. So we work on the concept of internal customers and internal suppliers, and we do not work on the push concepts, which is made to stock, which inadvertently requires big warehouses where lots of goods are made and stored, and you make in anticipation of the customer expectation, and finally most of it goes unsold or gets deteriorated or whatever, and we go and implement the pull system. Now the pull system again has been implemented to the extent of the concept of internal customers and internal suppliers, and there is a FIFO and there will be visual signs. So this is a customer process. Just as it picks up, a visual signal goes back to the supplier process, so on and so forth. And the fifth stage, and I once again insist that this is the most important stage, is to seek perfection. We will see two examples in next two slides of what actually looking at perfection means. My dear friends, just be very, very attentive when we go through this particular slide, because this particular slide will show you a factory that is run completely by physically challenged, especially disabled people. Most of them cannot walk, a lot of them cannot see, and still the system, the process, the infrastructure, the machinery has been so beautifully dedicated and improvised that the factory is running more competitively than the people who have got everything working for them. Just have a look at this particular slide.
This factory employs a large number of workers with disabilities. That is an approach made up here too. A major goal of our Kaizen effort was to make it easier and more comfortable for the workers to do their jobs. Trash receptacles were redesigned for easy transportation, and various assistive devices allow people with visual impairments to operate equipment. This worker devised the Kaizen idea of stabilizing hanging screwdrivers with flexible cords. Its improvement reduces wasteful movement, and since the drivers are used thousands of times a day, saves as much as 200 minutes of work time a month. It really feels like you've accomplished something when you come up with a new technique like this. We all enjoy thinking, working working together to make our job better. Spares and supplies are arranged for easy handling by the visually challenged. For example, these tapes are arranged by type, and large paper discs can be made by touch to know what is left. And the disc's bright printed design delivers the information clearly to sighted people too. Car jacks allow a work table to be raised and lowered to match the height of each wheelchair. This idea was so helpful, jacks have been fitted to all work tables. Ideas intended to make things easier for people with disabilities often simplify everyone's work.
So that was one example of seeking perfection, a factory created for the people who cannot see, who cannot walk. And you have seen how efficient and how innovative ideas were implemented on the shop floor. That is one of the examples. Another example, which is slightly oblique but very, very relevant, that the person who actually came up with this word lean, when this particular concept was being defined by the MIT team in 1990, he was member of that particular team. Mr. Jim Womack was the team leader, and I was not aware of this. So when I was just going through his interview a couple of days ago, and he mentioned that, and very happily, he was very proud to mention that Jim Womack, shall not be credited with this term lean. So this was created by one of my research associates at that point of time, which is Mr. John Traffic. He came up with this word lean. And that is why now the whole world calls it lean. And the success of Mr. John Traffic, who came up with this word lean, is that in 2017 he was made the CEO of Google Cars. CEO of Google Cars, which is now known as Waymo, the most cutting-edge technology, driverless, mapless cars. And the fun person who invented this word lean was on this project is now the CEO of the most cutting-edge technology project of the world today. This is how he looked in 1990, and this is how he looks now. So, my dear friends, now let us understand the basic building blocks of these concepts. So, we have now understood the 5-stage methodology and the building blocks. What are the actual tools and techniques and the approaches have been very beautifully explained by the House of Quality. So this is the House of Quality, and House of Quality is just like any other house. So there is a foundation, there are 2 pillars, and there is a roof, and there is something that resides inside it. Okay, so the foundation is giving the standardization and stability. So the building blocks of the foundation are 5S, Kaizen, quality circles, TPM, and Kanban. We will learn basic concepts, and you can always go to my YouTube channel. I have explained all these concepts in small 15 minutes videos, each and all of them. Then there are 2 pillars. One works on the productivity improvements. It is just-in-time pillar, which is about establishing flow or Agenca or takt time or pull system or visual workplace or robust process improvements. And then there is a Jidoka concept, which is about the quality improvement, which is about Poka-yoke or the problem solving, 7 problem solving tools, including the Ishikawa diagram, the fishbone diagram, etc. And then there is a customer focus thing over here. So the building blocks of the foundation are 5S, which is about the 5 S's of sort, set in order, shine, standardize, and sustain, which is the foundation, very foundation. And as far as I am concerned, the first step that I go on shop floor and go and try to implement the lean projects, the first step that we do is the implementation of 5S, and the journey begins from there. And there are quality circles, the Kaizen circles, where the groups of people are formed, and they come up with various ideas by brainstorming and by mutual team consent. Then there is the idea of quality circles, Kaizen circles, and there is how the lean is implemented, how the Kaizen is done, and what benefits we achieve out of that.
Our workers on the shop floor are always thinking of ways to improve the workflow, revising procedures so they take 2 steps instead of 3, 5 seconds instead of 10. Many tiny improvements add up to good result. That's Kaizen.
small improvements to the tune of 2 seconds itself, that's Kaizen. Standard operating procedures are a must for consolidating our progress, documenting them, and making further progress. Then this is how lean implementation really happens on the floor, and how standard operating procedures go and help. That will be demonstrated during this video. So these are the benefits. Reduction of lead time by 45% is one. Reduction of operations by 50%. So these are the standard operations that have been provided to each operator, that this is how, to the best of our knowledge and observation, this is how things are to be done, and this fellow is continuously observing how the next improvements are to be made. So the Gemba walks are again very, very important for this. So Gemba walks are to address the 3M, Muda, Mura and Muri, and the Muda is about waste, Muri is about overburden, Mura is about unevenness, and through Gemba walks, senior management and the engineers continuously go and observe what needs to be improved in the present stage. So this is how lean implementation happens. This is an example of Gemba walk. This is a very senior, maybe the CEO or something of that organization. He keeps on actually observing and improving on these standard operating procedures. So this was the foundation. Now there are two pillars, as you are all aware. One is JIT, just in time, which is about improving the productivity, and another is Jidoka, which is quality improvement thing. Now JIT is making only what is needed, when it is needed, in the quantities needed, and delivered just as they are needed. Just in time is probably the most spoken word when we discuss implementation of lean concept. JIT, just in time, as against just in case. Okay, so just in time is a difficult thing to achieve, but this forms one of the fundamentals of the lean implementation. Now the second pillar, the Jidoka, which is automation. Automation is again automation with a human touch. As we have been discussing, lean never emphasizes on making more and more investment, on bringing on newer and newer technology or costlier machinery. No, we work and our focus is to have automation with human touch, where machines are really working on their own, and when something goes wrong, the machine themselves call the operators. So the operators have much more time to work and operate other machines, and the machines by way of working. So this whole concept of automation is based on evolution towards Jidoka, that is automation with human touch. This is a particular example and very interesting example to understand. So when there is no improvement, this particular machine is running, the loading and the unloading both is done by this person, and he observes the machine, watches the machine when the machine is doing its work. Now some improvement has been made, the feed has been made automated, the unloading of the goods have been made automatic, but still this person is standing there just watching during the process cycle of time of the machine. And this has been further improved when the loading, the unloading, everything is automated. The man is gone, and this machine keeps working on its own, and it actually calls out for the person with a specific problem if at all something goes wrong, and that person comes and fixes it. Till that time he is free to work on other operations. Another very, very important concept of getting a flexible system is about SMED. Mr. Shiko Shingo introduced this concept at Toyota Motor Corporation in 1948, and he wrote a book, A Revolution in Manufacturing, the SMED System. And the SMED actually means single minute exchange of die. And the beauty of this particular concept is that the changeover times that were taking days were reduced to minutes. SMED means that no changeover shall take number of minutes more than 2 digits. from 1 to 9 minutes is the maximum that is allowed. Then there are 7 QC tools, the problem solving tools, the control chart, the Ishikawa diagram, the histograms, the process flow diagrams, etc. So very, very critical for actually implementation on the shop floor, and very important that they are not statistical tools. Please note that they are not statistical tools. They do not require any computer. They do not require any data analysis. They just provide very simple shop floor tools that can be used by the operators for the operational excellence to be achieved. Okay, the mistake proofing is another one of very critical aspects. You make things that prevent people from making mistakes. Then the Kanban system, the visual communication system, where all the workplace is made very, very visual, and what is required to be purchased, what is required to be brought in, or you call for a intervention by the manager, all this has been made visual, and this has been implemented in all over the manufacturing companies that have implemented lean manufacturing concepts. And even the concept of breaking down your corporate strategies to the actual operational level activities instructions, there is a mechanism which is matrix of quality deployment, which is also known as Hoshin-Kanri, that breaks up the corporate strategy into mid-level tactics and finally into the operational instructions for the plant flow. So we have basically covered 2 chapters that we discussed. Basics, we have heard of that. The need we already understood. Now we will be talking in another 5 minutes for the basic concepts of lean implementation. And I trust and believe, and I hope you will agree, the most critical part of our today's discussion is how to go and implement it on the shop floor. Effective, efficient, beneficial implement is the task that we have in hand. So please understand that this is a cultural transformation. It is not about learning some quick tools, techniques, getting some machines and things will turn around. So there have to be cultural transformation, and it is a continuous process of improvement, small improvements. How that really happens? So 3 stages. I've seen a couple of videos, and you must have noticed in each and every video that the training hand-holding is important, where a consultant or a senior manager guides about the basic concepts, the exact techniques, exact ways of finding out the defects, finding out the wastes, and ways of eliminating them. That is part 1. Part 2, as we mentioned, there is a pitch, just like there is a pitch in cricket, or where all the batting, bowling happens, which is process strategies and process mapping, the value stream mapping, right? And third is there are implementation events like projects, specific improvement projects at a specific area by a specific group of people, so that it can be measured and can be time bound and can be verified whether some benefit has been achieved or not. So this is a complete academic discipline in itself. It is just not that I am imagining something and discussing that with you. The people who have generated this particular concept in Toyota, they have came up with various books. Mr. Shigo Shingo write the book of Fundamental Principle of Lean Manufacturing, or Evolution of Manufacturing Assembly System, or Zero Quality Control Toyota System. Then Mr. Daiichi Ohno came up with the Toyota Production System. Mr. Leiker wrote a book. Then Toyota Production System books are there. It was converted into Lean methodology. Then the books came into circulation, The Machine That Changed the World, Learning to See, Gemba Walks, 2-Second Lean, Lean Thinking, Managing to Learn. All these books, they form the complete discipline, exact methodology, exact theory and principles of implementation of the lean concepts. And all this ultimately boiled down to the total cultural transformation of the organization, the management philosophy, which works towards aligning 3 P's, the processes, the people, and the purpose. So what we are looking at, aligning the purpose with the processes and with the involvement of our people. My dear friends, these are the people who are the pioneers. Mr. E.G. Toyoda, who was the chairman of the Toyota Motor Corporation, Mr. Daiichi Ohno, who was a mechanical engineer in the Toyota Motor Corporation and is considered to be the father of Toyota Production System and thereby lean manufacturing system. Mr. Jim Womack, who was head of the MIT team that came up with this particular concept of lean manufacturing, building on the concept of TPS. Then this is Mr. John Shook, who is now chairman and CEO of Lean Enterprise Institute. And they have come up with the implementation framework. Now, this again is a house. We have seen a house, the house of quality, when we were trying to understand the nuts and bolts, the building blocks of the lean manufacturing concepts. Now, the metaphor is the same. The house is, this again is a house, but this is a different house. This house is talking how implementation has to happen. The implementation has to happen by way of, in the similar concept, where the foundation is the managerial commitment, the basic thinking, and the mindsets and assumptions. The first pillar is the continual process improvement. The second pillar is people improvement, the capability deployment. Now, please see that these are the three fundamental questions that need to be answered. And we will see here that number one, that what problems are we trying to solve? So this is a very specific value-driven purpose, a situational approach. We define a particular project. We make a particular team. We take a particular task. We take a particular product or a particular segment and work on improvement for that. So has to be defined that what particular problem are we going to solve. This is the final slide that I'm going to share with all of you. So this final slide explains the exact implementation framework. So when we go and start off implementation framework, we need to know exactly what is the problem that we are going to solve. We'll have to identify and observe what the customer voice is, and we will have to have that foundation of our basic mindset, of our basic commitment, and this will be, there will be two pillars, one of continual process improvement and one of the capability improvement of our people. So this is about the processes and this is about the people. That is how the lean implementation framework happens. So tremendous benefits are achieved by implementation. So as you can see, overall reduction by 40%. So there are so many benefits that one can get from implementation of the lean managerial concepts. And to sum and to make my final point is that this particular lean implementation project resulted into increase in profitability ratio per unit by 390%. That is 4 times more profit per unit was achieved by implementation of this particular project. Anji sir. Manish ji, aap kuch keh rahe hain?
नहीं, please.
Okay,
proceed.
so that was the last slide, and this sums up the today's presentation. This particular last slide, I would like to emphasize that when we work with lean concept, that is about working smart, making our systems, processes, organization, people capabilities in such a manner that, of course, all of us will have to work hard, just like all these people are. But this fellow has streamlined its processes, improved them, and he is ahead in the race. As simple as that. I do not say that your hard work will be reduced. No, it will not be. Probably it will be increased. But the benefits you will get will be amazing. That's all from my side. And now I'm open to any question, answer, any queries that you have. Thanks.
Thank you, Vivek ji. बहुत धन्यवाद. Thank you. You have explained very nicely. Actually, you covered a lot of things regarding the lean. So now that is a part of our participants. We listen to how they are going to guess for actually. So now I request to some of my participants who can share their views, please.
Sir, good afternoon.
Yes.
This is Rajeshwar Singh. Am I allowed to speak, sir?
Yeah, sure.
Yes,
You are welcome. You are welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Vivek ji. Thank you, Pramod ji. And thank you, Manish ji, for inviting me. Vivek, sir.
Thank you, sir.
This was very knowledgeable session, and lean is, I heard a lot. It's like I heard a lot, but I haven't been able to learn about it and implement it. My question is that I'm coming from the solar system integrator. We are a EPC company, engineering, procurement, constructions. So every time we have a new site, a new factory where we are going to install the solar rooftop. So it's not a factory or single locations. So as a system integrator or as a service provider where we buy the material from someone else and then we install on the factory roof, how we can implement it, I would like to know more about that, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sure, sir. So I would like to draw your attention again to two very important points that I made during my discussion. One is that we will have to understand what is the value, right? What is the value in the eyes of the customer? So I would request you, I will just suggest two small points, and I assure you, in another 10 days, I will call you back and you will be very happy to say that yes, I have made this improvement. Just note 2 points that I would like to share with you. Only 2. One is that first try to understand what your customer is looking at. You want to make your customer happy, number 1. Then only you will go. You will have more and more business, right? You will have more and more profit. So first try to look from the point of view of the customer. Try to understand that what improvements the customer may desire, and you benchmark with the most successful companies. There are competitors, of course, in your business as well. So you identify that what is that the customer is looking at and how I can provide that. Then when you start looking at from the point of view of customers, you actually get to know the real value that the customer is asking from you. That can be maybe pre-committed schedule of implementation. You can one of them, right? You are the best judge of your own business operations, but I can suggest that you observe, benchmark the best practices from the point of view of the customer. That is point number 1. And I will mention only 2 points. And the second point is you just look at very deeply at your own implementation process, integration process, and find out that, okay, these are my activities which are my bottleneck activities.
Okay.
Which are actually restricting me. In every operations, you will find that there are a couple of bottleneck activities that hold back a big performance. The weakest link in the chain. Are you getting my point? What is the weakest link in the chain? Because you just have a, let's say, maybe if you are successful, you will have a bottle of champagne maybe after a year. So the amount of liquid that can come out of a bottle is how wide its bottleneck is, right?
Right.
So please identify and know what that weakest link is. What is your bottleneck that is hampering and actually pulling back the performance of whole team? So you will have to be very minutely observing your operations. Maybe for a couple of days or for one full week as an outsider. Invest 1 week as an outsider. Just go and observe what is happening and what can be improved. And maybe we can talk after 10 days.
Right, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Vivekji, for a wonderful answer. There is another question from Mr. Jatin Saraogi. He want to ask that how is it possible to apply the lean when today workforce is not available?
That is the right time actually.
So actually the lean concept, and just as I mentioned in the beginning of my presentation, my motivation for actually having these particular sessions on lean is to solve this very problem. Except the problem that he has pointed out, that we are struggling with the shortage of skilled manpower, because our people who are trained in this particular trade have left because of this corona crisis. The so-called migrant workers have left. So we are running short of the skilled manpower. Now the whole lean methodology is trying to reduce manpower costing, manpower wastages. And if you recall, in one of the first few videos that we saw, I actually paused it at a particular point in time, where it says that in that one manufacturing line, the manpower requirement was reduced from 31 to 12. Hope you remember, right? So
yes.
Why and how that manpower was reduced? Please appreciate. And I've been in industry as a manager, as a supervisor, as an engineer, as a boxing, receiving bag of senior managers, every position I have had during my career. So what I have seen that most of the time you will observe that your operators are just not working. They are standing over there, either due to their lethargy, but mostly 99% of the time because of lack of clarity, lack of the process alignment that we have done, lack of the way they are loaded. So they either wait for goods, they either wait for instructions, they either wait for some clarification, they either wait for tools and instruments. So one particular person works only 30% of the time, 30% of the time. And there is a tremendous possibility of improving the productivity of each and every person. Just the other day, I was discussing with Pramodji, our expert in government industry. He mentioned that the needle time in India, Pramodji, is
3 hours 30 minutes. Machine running time.
Needle time in Bangladesh is?
Bangladesh is at least 4 hour.
Right. So our needle time is 3 hours, and Bangladesh, which is similar, his needle time is 4 hours. That is the same person where the actual work is happening without much changes in the processes and infrastructure and the machinery and the equipment that we have. The productivity has been increased from 3 hours to 4 hours. That is 1/3, 33% more productive.
Yeah.
Are you getting my point? The manpower in Bangladesh, I am not mentioning, our government expert Pramod sir is mentioning, the productivity of Bangladesh workers is 33.33% more than our people. That actually means we require 1/3 less people. So let's work on the processes. Let's try to find ways by way the productivity of our people is increased. And there are ways.
Right.
As I mentioned, that most of the time is wasted in transportation, in rejections, in reworks. हर फैक्ट्री के अंदर एक आप मतलब निश्चित रूप से मैं से एग्री करेंगे, हर फैक्ट्री के अंदर मेरी भाषा में एक चलती रहती है हिडन फैक्ट्री. वो हिडन फैक्ट्री क्या काम करती है कि जो ओरिजिनल फैक्ट्री है ना, वो एक बार गुड्स बना देती है, उसमें से आधे से ज्यादा होते हैं खराब. They require rework, they require repair and reinspection. Right. तो हमारी कम से कम 3/4 मैन पावर, प्लीज माइंड माय वर्ड, मैं बहुत सोच समझ के कह रहा हूं, हमारी 3/4 मैन पावर केवल इंस्पेक्शन करके खराब माल ढूंढने, फिर वो कैसे ठीक होगा रिपेयर रिवर्क में, फिर उसको रखे वो और खराब हो जाती है, फिर उसको करने में, फिर उसके क्वालिटी एश्योरेंस को दोबारा करके उसको पास करा के लेने में 3/4 मैन पावर. और अगर हमने हमारे प्रोसेसेस ऐसे बनाए जो कि गलती को होने ना दें, रोक दें, तो हमारी कम से कम हाफ मैन पावर, 50% मैन पावर का रिडक्शन वहीं पर. क्योंकि अगर आप अपने प्रोसेस पे भी बार गौर करेंगे ना, 50% आपके यहाँ रिवर्क होगा जरूर. मैं बिन देखे कह सकता हूँ हर फैक्ट्री में इंडिया की, अगर उसने ऑलरेडी लीन को कुछ इंप्लीमेंट नहीं किया है तो. और कैसे होता है, बहुत छोटा सा एग्जांपल मैं आपके साथ में शेयर करता हूं. इसका एक कॉन्सेप्ट है, उसका नाम है सेल्फ इंस्पेक्शन, सक्सेसिव इंस्पेक्शन एंड जीरो क्वालिटी कंट्रोल. एक किताब है डॉक्टर शिगो शिंगो की, जो कि इसके फाउंडिंग फादर्स में से एक है. वो ये कहते हैं कि जब एक प्रोसेस से दूसरे प्रोसेस में आती है चीज, तो उसका सोर्स इंस्पेक्शन होगा. सोर्स पे आप इंस्पेक्शन करोगे, और हम लोग क्या इंस्पेक्शन करते हैं, एंड ऑफ द लाइन इंस्पेक्शन.
फाइनली राइट.
प्रमोद सर आप बिल्कुल एग्री करेंगे मेरे से, हमारे पास गवर्नमेंट की लाइन चलती है, तो जो पिछले प्रोसेस वाले ने कॉलर जोड़ के भेज दिया, अगला वाला उसमें आंख बंद करके वहां जोड़ देगा. वो देखेगा नहीं कि कॉलर इसमें ठीक जुड़ा है कि नहीं जुड़ा है, और एंड ऑफ द लाइन पे क्वालिटी चेकर खड़ा होगा.
एग्जैक्टली.
वो क्वालिटी चेकर कहेगा कि अरे भैया इसका तो कॉलर ठीक जुड़ा नहीं है. फिर क्या होगा, पूरा गारमेंट, तो वो एक क्वालिटी चेकर फिर छांटता रहेगा. उसको एक टास्क मिल गया, बहुत बड़ा कुछ होता है कि अरे वाह, आज तो मैंने भाई साहब धोए निकाल दिए, 50% माल रिजेक्ट कर दिया.
तो हम लोग
तो प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड कि हमारा टास्क क्या है. हमें इन प्रोसेस रिजेक्शन रिवर्क को रोकना है. किस तकनीक की सहायता लेके, सोर्स इंस्पेक्शन, सक्सेसिव इंस्पेक्शन की सहायता लेकर.
करेक्ट. एक एग्जांपल इसमें जोड़ना चाहूंगा सर, जो आपने बताया ना क्वालिटी चेक का और इसका, तो एक एग्जांपल है कि जो एयरप्लेन, जितने भी एरोप्लेन उड़ते हैं मतलब हवा में, तो उनका चेकलिस्ट इतना स्ट्रांग होता है, वो हर लेवल पे इतना चेक करते हैं कि 1 करोड़ आपका फ्लाइट उड़ रहा है तो उसमें से एक आपका फ्लाइट का एक्सीडेंट होने के चांसेस होते हैं। तो मतलब रेशियो आपका एक्सीडेंट होने के कितने चांसेस हो गए हैं। सेम आपका ट्रेन का होता है तो उसका लेता है 1 लाख में 1 लाख ट्रेन अगर रन कर रही है तो उसमें से एक ट्रेन का एक्सीडेंट होने के चांसेस होते हैं। सेम आपका क्या बोलते हैं ये स्कूटर्स और कार का होगा। तो आप ये मतलब अज्यूम कर सकते हैं, लाइक मैं बाइक चला रहा हूँ तो एक्सीडेंट होने के चांसेस सबसे ज्यादा रहते हैं, क्योंकि 1000 बाइक चल रहे हैं तो उसमें एक बाइक का हमेशा एक्सीडेंट होता रहे। इसका रीजन सिर्फ यही है कि हम ड्राइव कर रहे हैं या प्लेन उड़ा रहे हैं या जो भी चीज कर रहे हैं ना, तो उसमें चेकलिस्ट कितने सारे पॉइंट्स बने हुए हैं कि मैं प्रॉपर्ली रन कर पा रहा हूँ और मेरे एक्सीडेंट होने के चांसेस कितने कम होते चले गए हैं।
करेक्ट,
सेम मतलब लाइक है, मतलब
इतना अच्छा एग्जांपल आपने मनीष जी दिया है, इतने अच्छे से इसने इसके बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट को, सर आपके एग्जांपल को थोड़ा सा आपके एग्जांपल को आगे बढ़ाऊंगा कि अगर हमने अपने प्रोसेस को इतनी अच्छी तरह से ऑब्जर्व किया है, उसको इतनी बारीकी से देखा है, व्हाट कैन गो रॉन्ग एंड हाउ टू प्रिवेंट दैट फ्रॉम गोइंग रॉन्ग फ्रॉम वन प्रोसेस स्टेज टू नेक्स्ट प्रोसेस स्टेज, तो हम वो वाला कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल अचीव कर पाते हैं जो अभी आपने बताया कि 1 करोड़ में 1 होगा। वो कॉन्फिडेंस
जो फ्लाइट मतलब जो आपका एयरप्लेन का पायलट है वो मतलब 1000 ये फ्लाइट या 10,000 फ्लाइट या 1 लाख फ्लाइट उड़ाने के बाद में भी उसके चेकलिस्ट बने हुए हैं। वो हर बार चेक करेगा कि वो चीज चेकलिस्ट ओके है या नहीं है, ओके है या नहीं है, हर बार चेक करेगा वो। उसके चांसेस एक्सीडेंट होने के बिल्कुल मतलब 1 करोड़ में 1 चांस हो गया। मतलब आप देखिए कितना रेशियो हो गया
साहब। मनीष जी बहुत अच्छा एग्जांपल दे दूं, कल परसों अभी 10 दिन पहले यूपी में 8 पुलिस वाले मारे गए हैं।
जी
मैं सीधा बोल दूं, चेकलिस्ट या एसओपी की बात करूं, क्या उनको नहीं पता था गाड़ी से उतर के कैसे किसी के घर में घुसना है? सो यू विल बी सरप्राइज्ड कि दे आर नॉट यूजिंग द प्रॉपर एसओपी, प्रॉपर ट्रेनिंग नहीं दी गई उनको, और जाके आप किसी के घर पहुंच जाते हो, उसके बाद आपके 15 में से 8 आदमी मर जाते हैं वहां पे।
बिल्कुल सही है, बिल्कुल सही है।
एग्जांपल ऑफ द एसओपी एक्चुअली।
नहीं सही बोल रहे हैं, बिल्कुल सही बोल रहे हैं,
बिल्कुल ठीक बात है। तो मैं आप दोनों की बात में सर एक चीज ये जोड़ूंगा, मनीष जी और प्रमोद जी आपने जो उदाहरण दिया, तो सबसे महत्वपूर्ण जो अपने लिए इसमें अंडरस्टैंडिंग है कि हमें क्या, जो आपने उदाहरण दिया उसी से मैं अपने अपने काम की बातें निकाल ले रहा हूँ। तो पहली बात तो ये कि हमें कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल या परफॉर्मेंस लेवल क्या अचीव करना है, 1 करोड़ में 1 वाला, जो कि प्रैक्टिकली जो हमने बात किया सीक परफेक्शन, हमें 99% से संतुष्ट नहीं हो जाना है, 1 करोड़ में 1। और इसीलिए जो इसके लीन के प्रैक्टिशनर्स हैं वो पीपीएम की बात करते हैं, पार्ट्स पर मिलियन की बात करते हैं। परसेंटेज की अगर आप बात करें ना, परसेंटेज शब्द, तो जो लीन के जिसे कहते हैं धुरंधर टाइप लोग हैं वो आपसे बात नहीं करेंगे। परसेंटेज शब्द ही वहां पर मतलब बैंड है की बात करें तो क्वालिटी के लेवल।
विवेक जी बहुत अच्छा कर दूंगा आपको। मैंने अभी एक किसी मेरे बायर को विजिट कराया कि गारमेंट की फैक्ट्री को, उसने उससे पूछा कि हाउ मच रिजेक्शन परसेंटेज आर देयर, या रिवर कितना है, तो उसने बोला कि साहब हमारे यहाँ रिजेक्शन 2 से 3% के आसपास है और रिवर के हमारा कम से कम 18 से 20%। ना उसने बोला कि भाई रिजेक्शन कहाँ पे है, तो उसने कहा साहब कोई बटन या कॉलर की कोई फ्लैग लगाते हैं वहां रिजेक्शन है। उसने बोला उस व्यक्ति को बुलाइए जरा, तो फ्लोर के इंचार्ज को बुलाया, वो सामने खड़ा हुआ, उससे पूछा कि आर यू सेटिस्फाइड विद दिस 2% रिजेक्शन। उसने बड़ा खुश होकर बोला कि सर क्या कर सकते हैं, वो तो हाथ है, मशीन है, मूव कर जाती है, ऐसा वैसे। तो उसने बोला आपकी सैलरी क्या है, तो उसने बोला आप 30,000 रुपए सैलरी है मेरी। बोला कि आपका ये जो 2% है, एक शर्ट की कॉस्ट क्या है, प्राइस क्या है इसका? बोले साहब करीब ये 1500 रुपए के आसपास का है। तो 2% का मतलब हो गया 3,000 रुपए पर डे। इसका मतलब 3,000 इंटू में 30 दिन कर दूं तो क्या 31 तारीख को तुमको तनख्वाह नहीं दूं, आप समझ नहीं लेंगे क्या उसको? वो 1 मिनट के अंदर हिल गया, बोला भैया ये 2% कुछ नहीं होता। 2% क्या बात कर रहे, 2% 3,000 रुपए की बात क्यों नहीं करते हो? 3,000 रुपए का रिजेक्शन है आज की डेट में।
जी। इसीलिए मैं प्रमोद जी आपकी एक बात को मतलब शेयर करूंगा। व्हेन आई वाज एक्चुअली हेडिंग कंपनी मयूर यूनिकोर्ट्स, तो अपने यहाँ जयपुर में ये बहुत बड़ी कंपनी, और अच्छा उसकी बहुत बड़ी सक्सेस स्टोरी भी है। तो उसकी कहानी ये है कि मैंने उसको ज्वाइन किया 2003 में। उस समय मैंने उसको ज्वाइन किया एज डिप्टी मैनेजर क्वालिटी एश्योरेंस। मजेदार कहानी इसलिए मैं प्रायः उसको शेयर कर लेता हूँ। तो उस समय उसका टर्नओवर था 40 करोड़ रुपए 2003 में। एंड बड़ी महत्वपूर्ण इसमें 2 ऑब्जर्वेशन है। 2003 में मैंने ज्वाइन किया, टर्नओवर था उसका 40 करोड़ रुपए, और मेरा डेसिग्नेशन था डिप्टी मैनेजर क्वालिटी एश्योरेंस। 7 साल हम लोगों ने उसमें, और मैंने बहुत कुछ वहां पे सीखा। वहां पे मैं आज का जैसे गुरु पूर्णिमा का अवसर है तो हमारे डॉक्टर खन्ना हमारे गुरु थे, वो सिखाते थे। 7 साल हमने बहुत काम उनके साथ में किया, और 7 साल बाद 2010 में मैंने उस कंपनी को छोड़ा। उस समय
Correct.
उसका टर्नओवर हो गया 400 करोड़।
आई शाबाश, वेरी गुड।
और मैंने उसको छोड़ के जिस कंपनी को ज्वाइन किया उसमें मेरा डेसिग्नेशन हो गया चीफ एग्जीक्यूटिव ऑफिसर।
सो मींस आप अपनी ग्रोथ, मतलब ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की ग्रोथ, या ऑर्गेनाइजेशन तो है ही, लेकिन आपकी ग्रोथ भी हो रही है साथ में उसमें।
दोनों की ग्रोथ है। मैं बार बार यही कह रहा हूं, तो जब लीन की
Yeah.
बात करते हैं तो वो उसकी कहानी पहुंच गई 40 करोड़ से 400 करोड़ में, और मेरी कहानी पहुंच गई डिप्टी मैनेजर क्वालिटी एश्योरेंस से CEO।
राइट।
CEO।
मैं एक क्वेश्चन पूछना चाहूंगा।
यस मनीष जी, कोई जी
जतिन बात कर रहा हूँ मैं।
जतिन जी।
यस जतिन जी।
एग्जाम्पल दिया जैसे वो क्वालिटी मैनेजर का कि भाई तुम्हारी सैलरी कट हो जाएगी करके, लेकिन आज के पोजीशन पे तो ऐसा कंडीशन है कि वो तो बाय बाय कर देगा।
इसमें सर मैं थोड़ा सा जोड़ना चाहूंगा, मैं सर आपकी बात को जोड़ना चाहूंगा। बात यह है कि हाँ, समय अलग है। आज की पोजीशन में हम लोग अभी ये क्या है कि एम्प्लॉयर्स मार्केट नहीं रहा, एम्प्लॉय मार्केट हो गया है, तो हम उसको ये नहीं कह सकते। लेकिन हाँ, जो इसके अंदर छुपा हुआ राज है ना, वो छुपा हुआ राज क्या है? पहली बात कि हमने अपने वर्कर्स से, अपने शॉप फ्लोर के सुपरवाइजर से, अपने मैनेजर्स से मनी टर्म्स में बात ही नहीं किया है। हमने उनको ये बताया ही नहीं है कि मेरे भाई इतने रुपए का नुकसान हो रहा है अपनी कंपनी को। मेरी बात को बहुत ध्यान से सुने। जब हम उनको ये बताते हैं कि मेरे भाई, एक एक शब्द ध्यान दें, कि मेरे भाई अपनी कंपनी को इतने रुपए का नुकसान हो रहा है, तो आप निश्चित माने कि आपके इन शब्दों के बाद आपको कुछ कहने की आवश्यकता नहीं है। अगर आपने उसको कह दिया भाई, और उसको कह दिया कि अपनी कंपनी, और उसको कह दिया कि इतने रुपए का नुकसान हो रहा है, उससे ज्यादा मोटिवेटेड व्यक्ति आपको नहीं मिलेगा। और मैं, जो मेरे को याद आया था उस एग्जांपल का, तो वहां पर जो हमारा प्रोजेक्ट का एक हिस्सा था, वो 2005 में, वो अभी भी मेरे पास में किताब है, वो बुक्स हैं, जहां पर कि हमने सबसे पहला काम ही ये किया था कि हमारे यहाँ जो रिजेक्शन हो रहा है, जो रिवर्क हो रहा है, जो वेस्टेज हो रहा है, जो टाइम लॉस हो रहा है, जो प्रोडक्टिविटी कम आ रही है, उस सबको हम कन्वर्ट करते थे रोज मनी टर्म्स में, और शॉप फ्लोर पे डिस्प्ले करते थे बड़े बड़े चार्ट्स के रूप में।
करेक्ट।
मनी टर्म्स में जब तक हम बात करते रहते थे ना कि भाई यील्ड हमारी 92% है और अब 93% हो गई, या कल तो तुम लोगों ने ऐसी कम तैसी फेर दी प्रोडक्शन की 91% की यील्ड आई, इन टर्म्स में उस समय का वो मेजरमेंट था, तो किसी को समझ में नहीं आता था। फिर जब हमें ये समझ में आया कि भाई 91% से और घट के आपने 1% घटा दी, तो कितने हजार रुपए का या कितने लाख रुपए का नुकसान हो गया, वो उनको समझ में नहीं आ रहा है। वो जो हम लोग सीनियर मैनेजरियल लेवल पर है, ओनर लेवल पे, उन्हें तो समझ में आ रहा है, हमारे मैनेजर्स को, हमारे सुपरवाइजर्स को, हमारे वर्कर्स को समझ में नहीं आ रहा है। और जिस दिन हमने उनको ये बता दिया और उनको अपना माना,
करेक्ट,
मैं आपके साथ में शेयर करूंगा, और मेरा पर्सनल बहुत बड़ा इसमें एक अचीवमेंट, मैं उस चीज को मानता हूं। तो उसको मैंने बोला, और मैनेजमेंट को ही मैंने उनको कन्विंस किया, अपने टीम को ही मैंने कन्विंस किया कि हम जो पिछले 3 साल में, जो हमारे पिछले 3 साल में, एंड दैट वाज आफ्टर 2 years ऑफ इम्प्लीमेंटेशन ऑफ लीन प्रोजेक्ट्स। 2003 में ये कॉन्सेप्ट शुरू हुआ था। 2005 में मैंने मिस्टर पोद्दार से बात किया, जो कि चेयरमैन थे हमारे, कि सर पिछले 3 साल में हमारी जिस लाइन ने एक महीने भर में, एक दिन की बात नहीं, जो बेस्ट यील्ड अचीव करी है, उसको आप बेंचमार्क मान लो, वो मेरा 0 लेवल है, वो मेरा 0 लेवल है। उससे ऊपर मैं जितनी भी यील्ड अचीव करता हूं हर प्लांट में, मनी टर्म से उसका 20% आप मेरी टीम को दे देना एज इंसेंटिव,
मोटिवेशन है, करेक्ट,
और 80% आप ले लेना, केवल 20% आप दे देना। जो 2 साल के लीन इंप्लीमेंटेशन के सक्सेसफुल रिजल्ट के बाद पोजीशन वाज मच इंप्रूव्ड, और उसमें से भी जिस प्लांट का आप, मतलब वी हैड रिकॉर्ड्स कि जिस प्लांट का पूरे महीने का सबसे बेस्ट है, वो मेरा 0 लेवल है।
करेक्ट।
अब तो इंप्रूवमेंट इसके ऊपर करेंगे, तो हमें प्रॉफिट शेयरिंग की बात, इंसेंटिव की बात, लोगों को इन्वॉल्व करने की बात वहां पर करनी पड़ेगी। तो हमेशा यही नहीं कि किसी को हमें वर्कर्स को डंडा मार के हटाना है,
करेक्ट, ट्रू,
ऐसा नहीं है। और बेंचमार्किंग को तो स्ट्रिंजेंट रखना पड़ेगा। तो बहुत सारी बारीकी की बातें भी हैं, लेकिन हाँ, मैं शेयर ये 2 बातें अगर संक्षेप में करें, तो पहली बात तो वी विल हैव टू कन्वर्ट एवरीथिंग इनटू मॉनेटरी टर्म्स, एंड दोस टर्म्स हैव टू बी कम्युनिकेटेड डाउन टू द लाइन, so that the managers, the supervisors, the workers, the quality inspectors understand that this is the real implication of the work that they are doing.
राइट। मनीष जी कोई और स्पीकर हैं अपने जरा? मिस्टर
बिल्कुल, अभिषेक जी कुछ, मिस्टर अभिषेक कुछ क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हैं सावंत।
अभिषेक सावंत
अभिषेक जी आप अगर आप चाहें तो वीडियो ऑन करके क्वेश्चन पूछ सकते हैं। आई थिंक ये ओपन फोरम है तो यू कैन आस्क। वैसे मैं उनका क्वेश्चन बता देता हूँ, लाइक हाउ लीन इज डिफरेंट फ्रॉम सिक्स सिग्मा।
ओके,
देखिए लीन और सिक्स सिग्मा अगर बिल्कुल एकेडमिक टर्म्स में बात करें तो दो अलग अलग अप्रोच है। बिल्कुल एकेडमिक टर्म्स में बात करें तो अलग अलग अप्रोच हैं, और जो आज की डेट में उसका मोस्ट कॉमन बात है वो लीन सिक्स सिग्मा के कॉम्बिनेशन से चलता है। तो मैं खुद ही ग्रीन बेल्ट हूं इन लीन सिक्स सिग्मा। एक बात, अब दोनों में अंतर क्या है पहले अपन उसको समझें, अलग क्यों है, मैं क्यों कह रहा हूं। दोनों का कॉन्सेप्ट बिल्कुल अलग अलग तरीके से डेवलप हुआ है, दोनों का वर्क करने का तरीका भी अलग होता है, फोकस एरिया भी अलग होता है। कैसे होता है? जो लीन है वो वेस्ट एलिमिनेशन के कॉन्सेप्ट पर काम करता है। उसको देखना है कि मेरे प्रोसेस में वेस्ट कहां हो रहा है, वो मैं ढूंढूं और उस वेस्ट को हटाऊं, प्रोसेस की एफिशिएंसी बढ़ाऊं। तो वो वेस्ट एलिमिनेशन के कॉन्सेप्ट पे काम करता है, एक बात। और दूसरी बात, वो बहुत ज्यादा हाई स्टैटिस्टिकल टूल, कंप्यूटर एनालिटिक्स, इन सब में विश्वास नहीं करता। वो बेसिक ऐसे कॉन्सेप्ट्स पर बात करता है जिनको कि शॉप फ्लोर के वर्कर सीख सके। कॉज एंड इफेक्ट डायग्राम की बात करता है, फिशबोन डायग्राम की बात करता है, कंट्रोल चार्ट की बात करता है, फ्लो डायग्राम की बात करता है, काइजन सर्किल की बात करता है, क्वालिटी सर्किल की बात करता है, सोर्स इंस्पेक्शन की बात करता है, पोका यूके की बात करता है, मिस्टेक प्रूफिंग की बात करता है, जो कि शॉप फ्लोर के वर्कर खुद करेंगे, खुद सीखकर। उनको कोई बहुत हाई टेक्नोलॉजी की भाई उसकी आवश्यकता नहीं, और फोकस उनका एक, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि दो ही हैं, वैल्यू क्रिएशन, वेस्ट एलिमिनेशन। तो वेस्ट एलिमिनेशन पर वो काम करेगा, देखेगा प्रोसेस में वेस्ट का। ये है फंडा है लीन का। और सिक्स सिग्मा बहुत स्टैटिस्टिकली ड्रिवन प्रोसेस है, वो बहुत सारा डेटा गैदर करता है और उसका एम है वेरिएशन का रिएक्शन। अपने प्रोसेस में वेरिएशन कितना हो रहा है। तो आप लोगों में से जिन लोगों ने भी थोड़ा एमबीए की पढ़ाई किया, उनको जरूर पढ़ाया गया होगा। तो हर प्रोसेस का कोई स्प्रेड होता है, सेंट्रल टेंडेंसी है, मीन है, मीडियन है, मोड है, सिग्मा वैल्यू है, काई स्क्वायर टेस्ट है, वगैरह वगैरह वगैरह। तो जब अपन केवल सिक्स सिग्मा की बात करेंगे तो वो बहुत ज्यादा स्टैटिस्टिकली ड्रिवन है। कंप्यूटर्स पर उसकी एनालिसिस होती है। मिनीटैब के सॉफ्टवेयर के बिना सिक्स सिग्मा हो ही नहीं सकता। वो आप लोगों ने देखा होगा मिनीटैब का एक, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल अगर आर्किटेक्ट्स की बात करें तो अगर उनके पास ऑटोकैड या इस तरह के सॉफ्टवेयर नहीं हो तो वो अपनी आर्किटेक्ट गिरी नहीं कर सकते ना। वैसे ही सिक्स सिग्मा के लोग मिनीटैब के सॉफ्टवेयर के बिना अपनी सिक्स सिग्मा गिरी नहीं कर सकते। दे विल हैव अ लॉट ऑफ स्टैटिस्टिक्स, दे विल ड्रॉ सैंपल्स, स्पी टेस्ट, एन टेस्ट, वगैरह वगैरह वगैरह। तो ये दो अप्रोच हैं, दो अलग अलग तरह के बिजनेस मॉडल्स पर काम करते हैं। तो जो भी हमारे कॉल सेंटर्स हैं, इंश्योरेंस सेक्टर्स हैं, बैंकिंग सेक्टर्स हैं, ऑनलाइन के प्लेटफॉर्म्स हैं, ई कॉमर्स के प्लेटफॉर्म्स हैं, जहां पर कि ऑलरेडी इंजीनियर्स, अकाउंटेंट्स, एमबीएस काम करते हैं, वो सारे लोग बात करते हैं सिक्स सिग्मा की। जहां पर कि शॉप फ्लोर पे इंप्रूवमेंट कम है, प्रोसेस की डेटा एनालिटिक्स से कंक्लूजन निकाल के प्रोसेस इंप्रूवमेंट की बात ज्यादा है। और लीन काम करता है एग्जैक्ट मैन्युफैक्चरिंग शॉप फ्लोर पे, जहां पे सिलाई मशीनें चल रही हैं, हथौड़े चल रहे हैं, लोहा कूटा जा रहा है, बिल्डिंगें खड़ी हो रही है, वहां पर लीन काम करेगा।
करेक्ट।
तो हमें यह देखना है कि हमारी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में प्रीडोमिनेंटली क्या डेटा ड्रिवन अप्रोच और उसको अप्रिशिएट करने वाले लोग हैं क्या, या हमारे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में शॉप फ्लोर पे काम करने वाले। और क्योंकि अगर मैं ये बात करूं भाई मेरे पास में, अगर मैं टिपिकल समझिए गारमेंट इंडस्ट्री की, या मैं खुद फर्नीचर इंडस्ट्री से आजकल एसोसिएटेड हूं, उसमें आता हूं, तो मेरे तो वहां पे 95% लोग हैं, दे आर एजुकेटेड बिलो 8th स्टैंडर्ड। वो तो स्टैटिस्टिक्स बोल नहीं पाएंगे, टूल्स के इस्तेमाल की तो बात ही छोड़ दीजिए। और वहां में अगर डायरेक्ट सिक्स सिग्मा की बात करूं और बात करूंगा मीन ये है, मॉडर्न ये, स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन ये है, ड्रिफ्ट ये है, प्रोबेबिलिटी फंक्शन ये, तो वो नहीं समझ पाएंगे, फेल हो जाएगा प्रोजेक्ट। ये दोनों में बड़ा भारी अंतर है। तो सम अप अगर करें, लीन इज वर्किंग ऑन वेस्ट रिडक्शन, वेस्ट एलिमिनेशन, सिक्स सिग्मा is working on variation elimination.